Hey everybody, it's Jameson, just working on a quick project and thought I would share it with you. So I'm working once again with some of Lori Moreno's beautiful Murini from Wilderness Glass. Pay no attention to the Texas flags, although that's what I used here. She made little white stars for me, and I'm making Texas flag magnets, and so those are drying right now. I just cut those, used a little bit of hairspray and tacked them on there, and they're good to go. That's not the focus of this video. I say good to go, they're gonna go back in the kiln, but what I was making was another piece to go in the kiln as well. I have, my mother-in-law is a breast cancer survivor, and I have a garden stake frame that I bought from some online retailer that was going on closeout, so I can't even recommend where to pick this up. But I bought one from them as they were going out of business. And so it's a 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. I've got a single sheet of Bullseye glass here. What I'm gonna do is lay out some of her beautiful Murini or Millefiori. In this case, I'm using flowers, so I guess it's technically Millefiori, if that's even how it's pronounced. But I'm gonna lay those out in a pattern here. So what I've done is I've drawn out a ribbon shape for breast cancer survivor. I just freehand that with a Sharpie, and I'm gonna lay my hearts out, excuse me, my flowers and leaves out in a pattern that mimics this, and hopefully it turns out well. So let me get started. I've got to chop up my Murini. I'm using this handy dandy chopper that I featured in a past video, and so I'm going to chop those up, get everything ready. I already have the leaves ready to go, but I'm going to chop up my flowers. Again, these are from Lori. They're always amazing, and so I'm going to cut these up, and then I'm going to start to lay them out. Okay, what I'm doing here, I decided that while it's commonly understood that Sharpie generally burns off in the kiln, I don't like to tempt the fates. And so even if I do use Sharpie on stuff, I usually wipe it off and clean it off. And in this case, I was going to be essentially capping it with the Murini and hairspray. And so I'd be so disappointed if I used all this gorgeous Murini and could still see Sharpie underneath. So I got out a light board. This is a super lightweight little LED light board. I'll post a link to it in the description if you want to go get one for yourself. It's so handy, super lightweight. Again, I think usually meant for tracing. And so I redrew this with a different orientation. I'm going to turn it upside down and use the light board now, where I can see my tracing through it, to lay out my Murini in the style that I want. Then I can clean off the back before I fire it and feel good about it. So if you're wondering what this contraption is, that's what it is. It's just a little LED plug-in USB driven light board, and it works well for stuff like this. Okay, so here it is. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. However, this is my frame here, and it is just ever so slightly too big. It kind of barely fits in here from left to right, but it is overlapping a little bit on the top. So I'm gonna have to grind that down. Now, I could use a traditional grinder, or I'm gonna use my modified flat lap here. And so there's my traditional grinder, as ugly and gross as grinders are. Actually, I'm getting a new one, a used one that I bought from a viewer, so that'll be here soon. But guys, I'm working in a super tiny studio. I mean, I just don't have hardly much room at all. And so I have this rolling Rubbermaid cart. It's good for storage underneath, and it's kind of my wet cart, if you will. So I got my grinder on here, and then this is my my flat lap. I'll post a link to this video. Some of you have seen me do this before. This is a modification. It doesn't come with this brush. I want to show you, I did upgrade though. So it has a water reservoir on here on top, that you can fill, and that's what I used to do, is just fill it with water, and then it would go through that little white nozzle and come out this feeder hose here and keep this wet. I found that, you know, if I'm working at this machine for any length of time, this thing drains relatively quickly. And so one thing that High-Tech does offer is a little pump system. There are two different options. You could buy an electric pump to actually, you know, put it into a bucket of water or something and pump water. I decided just to buy this, you know, kind of garden style pump that you totally just pump it like you normally would. It runs through here, has an adapter that actually plugs right into that, and then that gives you much better water flow here. So I'm going to turn this thing on, and I'm going to grind. I won't show it because I can't hold it and grind at the same time, but I'm going to grind my piece down just a little bit and get it to fit into that frame well. Okay, so that is shut down now and winding down. I forgot to show you, so the water catches here at the bottom, then I got a little tube, and I've got it going down to an ice cream bucket. So what water comes out goes into there and then out to there, and I just watch that and empty it every now and then. Okay, so here's the piece. I got it into the frame okay. I am gonna do a fire polish on this because I have another piece going in, so the edges will clean up real nice, and we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, that came out of the kiln really well. You know, I just did a fire polish. I took it up to 1400 for just 10 minutes, got a really nice fire polish on it. It shrunk up just a little bit, but not too much, and fits perfectly in my garden stake frame here. And so you saw what I was doing there. I was taking, this is something new. I usually use the DAP Auto / Marine Sealant, DAP silicone sealant. I couldn't find any, so I ended up using this Maximum Strength Construction adhesive. We'll see. It says it's all surfaces, works for glass, low odor, which I agree. I didn't smell anything compared to that DAP. That does stink. It's waterproof, it's paintable. You know, this is going outside, so that's what I was trying to look for, something that would hold up. I mean, it's outside as a garden stake. So anyway, then there is a little piece that you put on the top here. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, these are kind of one-time use. So I could have opened that up, cut that off, and then used it, but then it's going to get all sealed up. So I don't know. I didn't use it. I just took a paper toothpick and dabbed some on in the corners, set my glass, taped it down, flipped it over. I've added a good slathering, I guess that's the word, and that's truly what that looks like on kind of the top and the bottom. I think it's plenty. It's probably overdone. So this says cures 24 hours or longer. So I'm just going to move this thing to the side and let it sit. Okay, everybody, I removed the tape. It is in there nice and secure. You know, it doesn't look, it looks a little sloppy back here where that glue is, but I don't care because it's the back and it is in there really well, and I'm very pleased. So love the look of this. Hey, special shout out to Ellie, who I saw on Facebook. She had posted this gorgeous heart, and it is truly what inspired this piece. I reached out to Ellie and said, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. Do you mind if I kind of take that concept and do something different with it? And she said, I know your channel, and absolutely. So thanks, Ellie. I appreciate your inspiration. I'm very pleased with how this one turned out. And Ellie is a viewer. If you want to continue to be a viewer and know when the videos hit, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit notifications. Thanks, everybody. You inspire me. I love doing this, and hope everybody has a great week.